All right, how's everybody doing? Another Tuesday night. I'll tell you, like I said last week, these Tuesdays really, really come fast. So appreciate everybody hanging out. I figured actually today, I kind of was talking to Jason and was just trying to come up with an idea of something to do tonight, and just got to thinking about, um, kind of daily sippers, and like we all talk about it and recommend things and all of that. But it's one of those deals where you never really truly know like what someone's definition of that is and why and all of that. So it's I figured it'd be a good debate and it would be something fun to kind of talk a little bit about tonight. So let's say hi to everybody before we get too far ahead of things. So I know there are a lot of people in here. Ed Fuller was in here right away. Sugar Kitty, how's it going? My man, Johnny Boy, Trombetta, how's it going, John? Chris, Big League Bourbon. Hey, one thing with Big League Bourbon, him, Michael Klein, Destination Bourbon, they just started a new thing. They know more about it, and if there's a mod or somebody in here, maybe they can link, or even if Chris wants to, Storytime Distillery, they've got a whole thing going on. So go check them out. They've got some really fun stuff going on. So Sugar Kitty, Roy, how's it going? Roy R does things. JG, what's it going on? The Whiskey Rabbit, Jeffrey Noller, how's it going, buddy? Marty, Whiskey Nose, Bobby, Bourbon Battalion, the Turkinator, Katie Turk, the better half of the Turks. We'll be actually seeing Katie and Ethan on Friday. They've rolled into town, into good old Wisconsin, and we're gonna try to meet up on Friday for a little bit, kind of have a few pours, have some fun, maybe kind of just make it a fun night. So who else we got in here? The Waxter, Jeffrey Wack, how's it going, buddy? I know some people, we'll get to the Backbone stuff here pretty soon. I know mostly everybody probably doesn't have any of their stuff yet, or should be getting them pretty soon, but I'm excited for all of that. So Katie, thanks for becoming a new member. I appreciate it. You're already like a member. You're like a family member already. So Amy Bowen, the legend, how's it going, Amy? Mike Franklin, Mike, how's it going, buddy? Troy, pop him, don't watch him. How's it going, buddy? If anyone hasn't somehow subscribed to Troy's channel, do so. He's got an awesome channel. He does some awesome things. Good dude as well. So Lord Schlong, how's it going, buddy? Kunkel, good to see you there, buddy. I know you're usually out in the fields and stuff when I do my live streams and all that, but Mike, I got the sample. I think I sent you the email. Thanks, Mike. I greatly appreciate that. We'll be getting into that in a little bit, Jeff. William Wiley, how's it going, buddy? Who else we got in here? Oh, this Jason guy. Here he is spamming the thing again. Mash and drum. Oh, that guy. Darrell, how's it going, buddy? I promise I have not forgotten about you. I've got other things I got to get out to. So what else we got? Cheech, my man. How's it going, buddy? I think I'm maybe caught up here. Wisco Mario, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. All right, I think I'm pretty caught up. I think I said hi to Cheech already. If I didn't, hi Cheech, how's it going, bud? Trev, the Bourbon Wrench. Hey, we got you on the list. Once we Jason and I, we've talked. Once we get into that, the makers pick, you'll be high on that list. That's for sure. So Alex, got your information before. So yeah, once that stuff gets to me, just let me know what you want me to do with it. If you want me to drink it, I'm happy to do so for you. So, what do we got here? That's good. All right. I'm just going to ignore that. So, all right. So anyway, so what I wanted to really kind of do first, little couple segments here. So rather than make it a commercial or pushing for the Mash and Journey whiskey club or anything like that, which obviously we do, we want people to be involved and all of that. But what I wanted to do was just kind of give a couple of updates. As you can see, we just released this last, I think it was Friday we did it. Released that, had a good sale run on that for a few days. Decided to eventually open it up to everybody. We won't do these probably very often. I don't think most are ever going to get to the public or whatever. Hey, Dart, how's it going, buddy? Hello. So yeah, what we've decided to do, and there's a link in the description. So if someone pulls it and they want to stick it in the chat, they can. But we've opened it up to the public to let people have a shot at the Backbone, the sherry finished bourbon. So if anybody again wants to give that a run, you're more than welcome. But we had a really good few days of that. When we do all these things with the distributors, obviously they want to sell the bottles as we do because we want to get other things out to people and all of that. But yeah, so the Backbone, again, this was the sherry finished in Oloroso barrels that they finished the Backbone, which is MGP. And I believe this one was right around that 6-year-ish range, I believe. So, and it sat in the sherry barrels for almost a year, not quite. In September of 21, it would have been 1 year. So they just dumped these actually not long ago. It's a pretty quick process for the most part. So yeah, Jeff, so this is one of the things. So I mean, like when Jason and I started this whole thing, the whole idea was to try to do some different things, not always the same types of things, and try to bring a few things that are going to be different. And, there's not a lot of people doing, things with Backbone, and to get the opportunity to do one that was finished in a sherry cask, we kind of jumped at the opportunity to do so. So if you're interested, or, both, if you're interested in the bottle and or interested in the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, and I'm sure there's a few guys and ladies in here that can tell you, I think it's worth, what it is that you guys contribute and all of that to be part of that. I mean, we want to do it really for you guys. So I'm going to be cracking this thing open here in a second. And then one other thing that we've got, so you can see these bad boys, no stickers on them yet. We've received the bottles. This is the Rebel right here, the Ezra here. Rebel coming in at, I believe, right around that 6-year mark, and the Ezra coming in at about 5.5 year. And we'll crack those open tonight. Go through those, give you guys a little teaser as to what's coming. These will be good. These are also the types of things that we want to do, not just super expensive stuff or crazy hard things. That's not the idea. I mean, we still want to be able to offer really good, affordable picks and all of that. So that's going to be an important thing for us as well. We know that we can't just hit everybody all of the time, and we don't want to buy super expensive bottles all the time. We still want to have great things offered to you guys. So all right, what do you say, Ethan? Here here's the hard teas, won't be able to stand up. Yeah, so it's gonna be it's been a fun ride and stuff so far. I mean, we've really had an opportunity to meet some awesome people, and including you guys, a lot of people that we've developed some pretty good relationships and things with, and other distributors, whatever it may be. So we want to continue to kind of include you guys as much as possible in these things, and this is kind of our way of being able to do that. So and then once we're kind of done with some of these, I guess we'll jump into kind of tonight's topic here in a little bit. And you guys can think about this, because it's one of those deals where, we all use the term, daily sipper. And I think we all kind of know what each other means, but it'll be really interesting to see, your thoughts. I'm really curious to see what you think of like a daily sipper as. Does it have to be low proof? Can it be high proof? Whatever it may be, that's where I think the evolution of you being a whiskey drinker start to kind of, get away from maybe necessarily the lower proof things and all of that. So it's going to be interesting. And this is why I kind of wanted to put this little topic together, is that it allowed us to kind of, chat, have a good time, really all of that stuff. So without further ado, what do you say? Let's crack open the Backbone. And again, if somebody wants to post the link in here in the chat, feel free to do so. There's a few of these bottles, I believe, left as of today. So if you guys want to, jump at those, then take the opportunity to get it. And, hey, at the end of the day, if you want to be part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, then there's a link in the description for that as well. So, all right, what do we got here? Let's get rid of that. Yeah, and again, this is all MGP finished in Oloroso casks, and they were in the Oloroso cask since September 15th, 2020, which just happens to be my wedding anniversary as well. So kind of interesting. I don't know if I ever really even looked at it that close, but all right, that's kind of cool. So yeah, anyway, here's the label. You guys could see it. Oh, Sherry, Steve Perry and stuff on there. Pretty epic, I would say, from that side of things. So for all the guys, for all the patrons and everything who's ordered them, thank you guys so much. We greatly appreciate all the support. And for anybody, like I said, who wants a shot at it, you're more than welcome to get them while they're still there. So, oh boy. All right, let's see what we've got here. Yeah, so when we did the pick, this is going back, months ago now. I remembered it just being like, I mean, it was kind of one of those things when you smelled this one specifically. I still have a little bit of the sample bottle there, but it was just so refined. I mean, it was just such a, oh man, that's a lot of chocolate on that. Man, a lot of chocolate. That's crazy. That's even maybe changed more than what it was in the bottle or in the sample bottle. Man, those dark fruits. It's more of like a, like kind of heavy, almost like a liqueur soaked like raisin or cherry or even like a plum or some very dark fruits. And more of the fresh stuff too. So this is where the thing. So like with it being finished and now a new bottle, I'll let this thing open up a little bit and we can kind of chat a little bit here. So all right, what's Jeffrey say here? Good question. I don't know if it was a first fill or not. That's a good question. I can find that out for sure. I would say with the color on this thing, the way, I don't know if you guys can see that. I mean, it's really dark. I mean, even in the bottle, let's see here. Let me shine it on this side. You can see how dark that is. It would almost lead me to believe. I mean, here's what I'll say, Jeffrey. Okay, yeah. So Jason said, yeah, first fill. So that's one of the things with Backbone being a little bit on the smaller side. My guess would be, that the barrels that they're probably filling are going to be a lot of first fill type of thing. So you're going to get a really, really nice influence. So yeah, Katie, it looks delicious. I mean, it's been months since I've had mine. I know Jason kind of cracked his open the other day, but holy cow. And that sweet, rich oak is there, but heavy dark fruits and a lot of chocolate. Oh, a lot of chocolate. Very nice. All right. I don't want to get into it yet. I want that thing to open up just a little bit more. Let's see if anybody else got anything in here. Yeah, it's very dark. Yep. First fill. Richie, what's Richie got? Yep. So I'll crack that open. So it'll be a little bit of a teaser. So anybody who's part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club will be releasing these. We've got some pretty epic stickers. I'm not going to get into it too much or anything because I mean Jason has done a banger job of putting together some incredible stickers. I won't let anybody know what they're going to be yet. We've talked a little bit about some of them, but when you guys see what these things are, it's going to be some of them are pretty awesome. So yeah, that's all I can say without letting the cat out of the bag. I don't want to do that. Jason spent some pretty good time with these with the stickers and becoming one with the stickers. That's for sure. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So all right, so Ethan, you poured your own you got an Ezra. So Yeah, so I know that Pursuit United batch. I know I've seen some of those things kind of popping up, not necessarily around here, but I know I've seen a lot of that stuff kind of starting to pop up. So hopefully they'll continue to do a lot of things. So okay, so a guy says Scott Backbone is available in my area, so I'll check them out. Yeah, so I don't know if they're going to have Guy. I don't know if they'll have this one. Well, they probably definitely won't have this one, and I don't know if they just release a sherry finished bourbon on their own or not. But I'm glad we were able to really get into this one. So, oh boy, Jason, take note. Take note. You might have to write this one down. that's a good one, Todd. You clearly either you've been drinking or you've not been drinking enough. I can't really tell yet. So that's pretty damn good, I've got to say. So, oh man, that's too funny right there. I love that idea. What else we got here? John K, how's it going, John? Good to see you, buddy. Jared O'Connor, how's it going, Jared? Happy Tuesday to you. My man Perry, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you as always. Scott Pigsley, how's it going, Scott? John Purcell, Johnny, how's it going, buddy? Kelsey Dime, how's it going, bud? Good to see you. Yeah, so these will be, we've got, I believe, of the two, I believe there's around 200 or so bottles, I believe, of each one of these. So that'll be a nice amount. And I think we'll be able to, I think these will go pretty quickly. I mean, just knowing, I mean, the nice part was knowing what we tried when we were there. This was the pick that Jason and I did along with Chad and Sarah from It's Bourbon Night. Now they were doing theirs, but, and I know we've kind of talked a little bit about this as well, but we were really like banging the drum to get these specific barrels. We kind of got into a little bit of a thing about what do we do if Chad and Sarah ultimately wanted the same barrel. Now they ultimately ended up wanting to go down a different road. They were looking for something a little bit more different and unique. And what, you know, theirs was definitely unique. Not that it was bad or anything, but they chose theirs. And, you know, we all kind of agreed. We all liked everything that everyone was doing, but they wanted something different than what we did. So we were really happy. I mean, when I was going through the tasting, I was giving Jason hand signals with what we were tasting and like trying to like really get a hold of these barrels. And we were fortunate enough to get the ones that we wanted. So that really worked out well. So, all right, let me dive in, man. That's a lot of chocolate and a lot of dark fruit. The sherry influence is really starting to kind of come through a little bit more now. You know, it's that buttery, it's very kind of like a creamy nose. If it could smell, there's this nice like vanilla buttercream on it too. You're still getting a little bit of that MGP kind of goodness that's there too. Oh, it's very like heavy, rich. Man, that chocolate and those dark fruits. All right, more importantly, let's see how this one tastes. Cheers, guys. Thanks for hanging out tonight. Appreciate everybody being here. All right. Man. That is oily. But again, kind of like the nose. Man, that sherry influence to me, and I think Jason may agree, is just like perfect. And I think this was kind of when we first tasted it. we asked them when we tasted that sample for that barrel if we could pull it like now, like when we tasted it. And they did. Basically immediately they tanked it so that it would stop aging, it wouldn't sit in the sherry barrels any longer. We felt it was really good the way that one was. So we had that kind of dumped, and I'm glad they did it. I'm glad they did that. But yeah, that sherry influence is really, really nice. It's the balance of it is nice. You get still that underlying MGP that's there with that nice rich sherry influence. And that the chocolate, the heavy dark fruits. Very good. I would say, yeah, like even like Bobby just mentioned, like cigars. You know, sometimes with finished whiskeys, I know there's a cigar blend and all of that, but sometimes with finished whiskeys, you have to be a little bit careful when you're pairing some of these things. Has been kind of my experience, but hey, to each their own. That's the other thing. So you know, when you're talking about oily and the viscosity of this one, this is probably where this finished whiskey can probably get you in. So this is like 115. Originally, we were told that it was coming in, and maybe it went up slightly. I don't know, whatever it was, unless they told us wrong. Originally, we were told 113.4, which is on the sticker, which ultimately is wrong. It ended up coming in at 115.3, so slightly higher than what we were told. But I mean, I'll tell you, it sure as heck doesn't drink like 115 proof. I'll tell you that. So boy, the longer it sits on my palate, the more that sweet oak kind of starts to come through a little bit on this one. No. Yeah. So, well, Jeffrey knows he sent us a blind that I did with the guys from cigarclub.com. And for me, it was just the cigar. It killed everything that I was trying to taste on those whiskeys. And and on their own, those whiskeys that he sent were fantastic whiskeys, but it killed it. It killed it for me. And this guy right here knows all too well. Yes, I did get a haircut, by the way. Thank you for noticing. I appreciate that. And yeah, perfect timing on your part. Perfect timing. Griff Howie. Everybody welcome Griff Howie from cigarclub.com. Fantastic cigar club, by the way. Funny you should ask. It was put in the sherry cask in the middle part of September of 2020 and was just dumped not long ago. So just shy of 1 year in the sherry casks. So, and when we tried this sample, we told them, pull it. If you can dump it now. We just didn't want to overcook it by any means. Man, it's really good. And I'm guessing that this is going to probably open up a little bit more as well. All right. So while we're doing this, and we'll get into the Rebel and Ezra as well. And I think we'll have these, and I guess, Jason, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but we're guessing we'll have the Ezra and the Rebel available to our patrons come, I'm going to say conservatively, the next maybe 3 weeks. And I think it could be a little bit sooner. So, you know, stay posted. We'll keep you guys up to date with that as well. But yeah, so we've got these coming. We'll have the stickers. They've been ordered. They've been sent off to them, and we'll have these available as well. So these should be much more affordable. But yeah, you'll see when we kind of get into some of these were fantastic bourbons. And that was the best part, was that we were super happy that not only were we getting really good bourbons, but we were going to get really good bourbons, a wheater and a rye-based bourbon that we were going to be able to offer to, you know, everybody or the patrons for a great price. That was a big thing for us. So all right, so yeah, so that was the thing. So if that's the case, if it ends up being all right, so 2 weeks. I was being a little bit conservative. By the time the stickers got there, they get the stickers on, they get the link and stuff set up. So if it's 2 weeks, that's even better. So kind of look for that. We'll have all that stuff posted and everything, and send a little update to everybody on what was going on. So Mr. Todd Ritter, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that. Thanks, buddy. Another more and one more label idea. Aqua Gorge. Oh my God. All right. Thanks, Todd. I appreciate it, bud. You can send me those. Send me these things again. I'll send them off to I'll send them off to Jason. Let him take a look at some of these. Oh, you were good. You were good the other night. You were fine with that. It all worked out well. We did like a little that was the patron only live I think we did with Jason last week. So what else we got here? Any updates on the Driftless? So we just did this one. This one again is one, Tim, that could maybe come sooner rather than later. I know talking to the guys at Driftless, they thought it could happen pretty quickly. So we'll kind of keep you up to date. We're hoping that stuff comes sooner rather than later as well. I mean, we were blown away after that pick. Actually, when Jason and Kim were here, we went up to the distillery and we were kind of looking for our barrel, but we weren't able to find it. So Justin wasn't able to join us that day, or he probably would have been able to pick it out. But hopefully before too much longer. We've got that. The Wilderness Trail will be coming, which was an incredible rye whiskey. I would say a little bit more of the off profile, but just it was a very decadent rye. It was very different. So, all right, what do you got for me, Edward? That's too good. I'm not even sure. Like, I don't even want to give that idea to Jason because God only knows what that sticker would be. Edward, man, that is too that's pretty incredible right there. Jesus. Oh my God. Yeah, of course, Hendo would be on board with that. Go figure. What's up, Big Vic? How's it going, buddy? My God, that's really too funny. All right, Cam, what do you got here? Hey, Scotty. One of the best sherry finished bourbons I ever had. BBC's Oloroso Sherry Cask MGP. So something similar. I don't know like what their casks were, but as far as, yeah, I mean, Cam, I think I don't know if I can compare it. I don't know if I had their actually. I know I haven't had their sherry finished one, but BBC does a fantastic job with things. So, yeah, Driftless, some awesome people. DC, yeah, DC. There's another one that you don't want to let the wheels are spinning up there. Oh my God, I can't even imagine what. I'm sure we could probably implement something. I'll talk to Jason, see what we can get. You can implement that into our. We try not to make too many things, I guess, singled out. We always try to incorporate something that he and I are doing a little bit of. So it's always fun with that. So. All right, what's Jason say here? Yeah, it was. And even in reviews I've done of Driftless, some of the picks, there's just something about it that's very stag-like. And it's hard to like express that to people. And I think people honestly don't really like necessarily believe it, but it was really a fantastic bourbon. So the bourbon and the rye we got were incredible. So Big Vic, how's it going, buddy? Oh yeah, I figured you'd be writing those down. Yeah, the driftless one will be coming, and that could be sooner rather than later as well. We're trying to space these things out so that you don't have to spend all of your money at one time. That was kind of the idea, was to do these things in a little bit of a wave. So, Adriana, how's it going? Whiskey Mountains. If for some reason you've been living under a rock and you haven't been able to check her channel out, definitely do so. I mean, what she does with her channel it's so much fun. I mean, you get the great scenery, and she goes through the whiskey experience, which is all a really, really fun thing. So DC, be nice, bud. I can only imagine what those stickers or what those memes or whatever the hell you want to call it are going to be, what it's going to be. So, all right, let me get back into this. And then, yeah, I guess while we're doing this, and then eventually I'll get into the Rebel and the Ezra, let's talk a little bit about, daily sippers. I guess so. Like some of the ones I've got up here, like I listed the Coopers, the Russells, maybe the Knob Creek, 120 Weller Special Reserve, could be 107, whatever. But I guess it really kind of boils down to, and you guys kind of leave in the chat, what kind of your definition, what it is you lean towards, as you're a daily sipper. I'm sure it changes, like it does probably for a lot of us, but what are kind of some of your go-tos and why, I suppose. It's always interesting to hear like what other people would recommend to other ones or to other people. So. And it's really, really easy to sip on. Man, that chocolate is Waxter. You're going to really like this one. I think the sherry influence for me is like just about right. I wouldn't want it more. I think sometimes when you get these heavily finished whiskeys, it just dominates it and just overpowers the whiskey that's there. It's just one of those things where I think when Jason and I tasted it, it was just one of those things that we knew it had to be dumped in. I'm glad they decided to do that. So it all depends on where I want to be and how. Yeah, that's true. So I mean, that's kind of the idea with this. I mean, I think it probably changes for everybody. Yeah, you can't go wrong, Sugar Kitty. You can't go wrong with either one of those. The OGD, Bottle and Bond, Wild Turkey 101, both kind of tried and true. And that's another one, the OGD 114. It's kind of another one that still flies a little bit, under the radar. I think when people got all over it when they heard it was going away, and then it never really did, and now it kind of still continues to sit on shelves. But for its price point, probably around $25, it's a great bourbon for what you're getting. Yep, Lava Man, Old Forester 100. That's one of the ones, and I thought I had some, but I've drank it all. Either that or used it in cocktails. Yep, the ET Bottle and Bond, Chattanooga Whiskey 111. I've got one of those. Oh yeah. So I think a lot of them are very kind of consistent. It's one of those. It's kind of like some of these bourbons where they're very kind of everyday-ish, and I get that, that you're not going to probably sip on anything every day. That's going to be a difficult one. We can kind of burn through these everyday kind of whiskeys, which is fine. That's probably why they become an everyday sipper. And for me, I mean, just the standard Russell's Reserve single barrel. Now, again, price point, maybe for some people, they don't want to have a $55 or $60 bottle as a everyday, even though that's become much more of a medium type of price in the bourbon world nowadays. So it's not even a crazy price anymore. So yeah, I mean, some of the rare breeds, I mean, again, a little higher proof, and that's the thing. I think as most or all of us, as you kind of just work your way through, drinking and enjoying whiskeys, that all changes. So what it used to be maybe is not, what it is now. So yeah, you can't go wrong. The Old Forester 1920 rare breed. and maybe the daily sipper is kind of a bad term, because I think it kind of almost, makes it seem like it's got to be something cheap, and that's not really what it's designed to. I mean, the daily sipper, I would say, is just that one that that you can go to, that's tried and true, and you know exactly what it is you're going to get, what the profile is, and depending on if you've had a good day or a bad day, how quickly you're going to get the job done based on proof and all that. So yeah, Craig, I'm a huge fan of the Cooper's Craft, and I think what they've done. I mean, again, this is another one, I think, and maybe distribution has a little something to do with that. But the Cooper's Craft, man, I'll tell you, I mean, Brown Forman, with what they've done with some of these kind of like double barreling expressions for these price points, and it's really a great bourbon. Ernie, how's it going? The Brewbaker Maker, good to see you. We were just talking about the pick that we all did at Wilderness, so that'll be fun. What's Ethan got? Yeah, you can't. Yeah, I mean, it's everywhere. It's easy to drink. You know exactly what you're gonna get. What's up, Razor? How's it going, buddy? Yeah, I'm a huge fan of what Cooper's Craft is been doing. I mean, they're really putting out some good stuff. I think they also have one that's underneath this, but it's like an 82 or 83 proof bourbon. So it's probably stuff that a lot of us kind of, maybe steer away from, but still at the end of the day, a very, very good bourbon. So good point. That's kind of exactly it. Yeah, love the Russell's Reserve. I'd say I've probably become more of a fan of what Russell's is doing probably over the course of the last year. I was admittedly not always a huge Wild Turkey fan, but I've definitely become more of one, in the last probably maybe year and a half or so. Just really appreciate a lot of what it is that what they do. So, what else we got here? Had a good time with these guys when we were down at Heaven Hill. We did the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. That's another one that's coming. The Elijah Craig Barrel Proof pick. That's going to be a crazy one. I can't wait to see when that one pops up. That'll probably be gone. It may even surpass as quickly as we got rid of the Russell's Reserve. The Elijah Craig Barrel Proof was crazy, but we had a good time doing the pick, and then we met the guys. We were up late the night before, drinking down in the lobby of the hotel. Then we were doing the pick, and we met them at Heaven Hill. Oh man, it was a hell of a night and day, I'll tell you that. So, what else we got? All right, Brazier, what do you got here? Yeah, I mean, I would agree. I mean, I think that's, and this is probably even going back. I mean, when I talked to Brazier about kind of pairing cigars and all of that, and I asked him, what something was that was you can always really kind of go to, and he had mentioned the Russell Reserve Single Barrel. It's kind of held true. It's just one of those bourbons that it's a good proof. It holds up really well, and you can smoke it with just about any cigar. So. Yeah. So David, for me, 1792, I'm a fan of it. I think for some people, and for me, it's a little bit kind of still, I don't want to say underrated, but it's, outside of the full proof, you don't hear people talk about it a lot. And to be honest, 1792, even from their small batch on, they're typically some really nice aged, bourbons, even in the small batch. So, 1792 is not one of those brands to really overlook. I think they're doing a lot better things than what people, kind of give them credit for. So, I mean, a lot of people are doing a lot of sourcing and stuff through them nowadays. Obviously, their old stock is, for me, kind of where it's at, but a lot of their other things are All right, I'm a fan of 1792. So good seeing you, buddy. Thanks for jumping in. I appreciate that. Putting together a review in the 2020 small batch LE. Oh, cool. That'll be cool. So you can check their Facebook page and stuff out too. So they do a lot of picks and everything as well. Man, I think I'm way behind. Hey Sherry, how's it going? I won't tell him. I promise. I won't tell that guy anything. So that's our secret right now. Our secret. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. They were different, the Iceman and Maverick. They were never really intended to be, competition. I mean, we were all having a hard time doing the picking, and fortunately, Keg and Bottle said that we could take another barrel, which was awesome of them, and that's what we ended up with. So, it was just the Iceman was more of a kind of a more of a typical profile. I mean, it was more on the sweeter side. The Maverick one was a little bit more bold, a little bit more kind of bite and stuff to it, maybe a little more oaky, some heavier dark fruits, things like that. The Iceman was just it leaned a little bit on the sweeter side of things, a little bit more traditional is what I'd say. And we've already talked about that. So, oh, this is so good. All right. Well, I'll have to dive back into that. Yeah, that sherry influence on that one is so good. So, like I said before, we'll get into some other things here a little bit, but what else do I want here? Yeah, Troy, that's kind of what it was. Very, very much so. Yeah, and Troy was part of that. So when we did those picks, they were just different, but we were all having a very difficult time trying to figure out which one to get. I'm glad they let us have both. All right, so like I said before, for anybody interested in the Backbone, there's a link in the description below. If anybody who mods wants to pull that and just put it in the chat, you can order it. We've opened it up to the general public. We decided to do that. I believe it was today. So there's a few left. So if anybody wants a little piece of that, then have go for that. So Scott, so depending on which one you're talking about, this one was like 82, I believe. And again, you're talking about MGP, smaller company, finished in Oloroso casks. It's already going to be a little bit more on the pricey side. We knew that. These, I don't know the exact price, but our thought right now, and again, hopefully I don't kind of stick my foot in my mouth, but we're thinking, roughly in that 40-ish, give or take a few bucks one way or the other. We're thinking that's probably where the Rebel and the Ezra are going to come in. So, all right, rather than me waste any more time, let's kind of get into that. Thanks, Cheech. I appreciate it. So, all right, let me ask you this, guys. So we've got the Rebel, obviously a wheater, and the Ezra rye base bourbon. You guys let me know which one you'd prefer I open up first. Give you a couple little quick tasting notes. So for the patrons who want to order that, kind of give you a little idea of what's coming. There's no stickers or anything on any of these yet. So the Rebel came in at just about I think it was just about 6 years. So that's a nice age on the wheater. And the Ezra was about 5.5. But I'll tell you, when we got these samples, all right, seeming like Rebel so far. All right. A lot of wheater fans, apparently. What do you got, Ethan? Are these Ezra and Rebel picks coming from Luxro stock or MG? So this is all Luxro stuff. Actually, you know what? It's a good question. Yeah, it's all Kentucky stuff. Yeah, distilled and aged in. Yeah, this is all Kentucky. So none of this is any MGP and stuff anymore. I know they've got the whole where they kind of did that merger and stuff about 1.5 years or so ago. But yeah, so this is all Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. So got here? Yeah, that's probably the guess. I think they're. Hey, Sean, how's it going? Hopefully, safe travels. Your glass did get in the mail today, by the way. Yeah, this is all Heaven Hill. I don't think any of their own stuff is even this kind of age yet. So, all right, so let's do this. Let's get rid of that. Hopefully, you guys and I'll be really interested to hear everyone's thoughts on once you guys start getting the backbone in. We'll want to hear your feedback on what you guys ultimately think for that. Definitely let it open up. I'll say that. So, all right, let's crack open the Rebel. So, all right, let me give you a couple the stats. So when we tried all of these things, we tasted it basically right out of the barrel. We thought when we going into it, we thought they were going to proof all of these things at around, I think it was like 107, if I'm not mistaken. When we were in there, we actually found out that we were going to get to bottle these at 120 proof. Now, the samples we all had were just slightly above that. So any proofing down that they've done is very minimal. So that we were really happy with. So we figured now we tried it. We added a little bit of water and everything there to kind of proof some of this stuff down as much as we possibly could. But again, you don't have to do hardly anything to it at there we go. You don't have to hardly do anything to it at 123 proof. I mean, to proof it down to 120. So needless to say, when we did this, we were really happy that we weren't going to have to proof this one down. Oh. All right, let's open that one up. And you know what? Why don't we do this? Just to let it open up, since I'm going to be trying it anyway. Let's bust into this one. So nice little cork pop on that. Yeah, we were really surprised when we were tasting these. You never quite know what you're going to get, from the whiskeys, especially when you're dealing with something that's, 5-6 years old. You never truly know. But we were shocked by the overall complexity of these in terms of what it was that they had to offer. So, all right, let's see what we got. Oh man, yeah, a little bit of that nuttiness that's there. Man, nice. Man, again, more chocolate on this. This was the thing with this weeder. I remember tasting it. It was way spicier for a weeder than what I thought we were going to get. So, I mean, it was crazy as to the spice that was on it. And I'll be surprised to see if that's still that way. Boy, that like vanilla buttercream on this. Nice amount of almost like a little bit of like a peanut butter note. Nice chocolate, almost like a chocolate peanut butter, like a Reese's peanut butter cup or something. Oh boy, that's nice. Very sweet, very soft, a buttery. I don't want to say floral, but that like doughy or that kind of pastry note is there. And boy, and again at 120 proof, so that's nice. I mean, to get a weeder at around 120 proof, that's always nice to get them a little higher proof as well. Oh man, that's really nice. Yeah, it's got a very, I don't want to say typical like weeder profile, but again, I'm not getting much ethanol at all at 120 proof. But again, very chocolatey, vanilla buttercream, a little bit of that nutty characteristic, more peanut butter than anything. Nice chocolate. Yeah, I mean, it's like a Reese's peanut butter cup. All right, let's give this one a try. Cheers, guys. Thanks everybody for hanging out tonight. Really, really appreciate it. Man, definitely a little bit of that peanut butter nutty characteristic. Not dominant by any means. Boy, the proof is really nice on this. Very mouth coating, oily. Again, they didn't have to put much water in this at all. So you're basically getting it at barrel proof. And that's technically what they'll probably label it as. I think that's what it says. Oh yeah, well obviously it says huge words, cask strength. And that's pretty true. So what's Sean say? Sean, this will be, we're thinking in 2 weeks, maybe 3 max, but it should be sooner rather than later. These should be all really nice proof points and stuff. I know 50 minutes. It's crazy. I was trying to not ramble on. I didn't want to make this just all about this, but shit, man, the time is gone by pretty quickly. But yeah, it's really nice. I mean, it's, I know people hate to use that term like smooth or whatever, but it's very like velvety. I'll tell you the amount of like vanilla, almost like a vanilla cake batter for 120 proof. That's pretty damn easy sipping right there. I'll tell you that. That's a really nice weeder. The amount of chocolate and the spice. This is one of those things where you just don't always expect that kind of spice. And it's not really heat. It's definitely not drinking like 120 proof, but the spice that's there is really, really nice. Yeah, again, very, very chocolatey, peanut butter-ish. Maybe even a touch of some dark fruits on that as well. Really, really nice. I wish I had the samples to go back to just to see what they were, but I'll tell you, we were happier than hell to get these. Yeah, that I mean, it is very much. And I think with the stickers and all of that and how we've got all these things, man, that's good. That's really good. We did this one back in, I think, March or something, middle part of March or whatever it was. But Austin, I don't think Jason's gonna do it. I don't even have them right now. I mean, I've got them, but I don't have them on my computer to even show you. And we want to do. All right, he is gonna do. All right, he's gonna do. Well, lucky you guys. I guess he's going to do his patron only live thing or whatever later. So, all right, you guys will get a little sneak peek of the of the stickers. I don't think you're going to get any other ones other than maybe these. He can show you these. I don't know if he's going to show you the other ones, the old hock and cannoli that's going to be coming for our old elk picks. Oh my God. Those are ridiculous. Okay, let me move on to the Ezra. So again, this was just about 5.5 years old. This was barreled on March 31st, 2016. So yeah, this one was going to be probably right in that 5+ year range. Again, 120 proof. Really nice. And again, they weren't having to do much proofing down on these, which was, oh man, that's nice too. This one for me, the rye a lot of times just has naturally, I think the rye base bourbons, I should say, just have more of the complexity, more oomph to it. I think just because of the rye versus the weeder. I think the weeder kind of just always, gets held down a little bit in terms of the nose. Now it could change slightly on the palate, but oh man, Sean, I would take this over that Larceny barrel proof all day long. It definitely doesn't drink hot. I mean, some of those other ones were like straight gasoline. They felt a little thin. This had some nice, velvety characteristics to it. Much, much nicer, I'd say. All right, let's give this one a try. Cheers, guys. Man, spice bomb. Again, chocolate, some nice citrus notes. Man, way more. I don't know if Jason, if you've tried this one or not, but man, that's got way more orange citrus than I remember. Nice sweet tobacco, more chocolate. That's been one of the kind of common themes between both. Heavy dark fruits as well. Man, a lot more. I don't know if Jason's still in here or not, but oh yeah. Yeah. Hey Jace, when you tried the Ezra, did you get a lot of citrus? I mean, I'm surprised at the amount of, like, it's almost like a and that spice too. The spice is really nice on that. It's almost like a chocolate covered like orange, whether it's like a candy or something along those lines, but very orange citrus kind of forward. Really nice spice, nice chocolate, good fruits on that. I wouldn't say this one for me that it really. I would say there's a little bit more of the peanut buttery kind of characteristics here than on this one. So, and it may be there. Maybe it'll be as you kind of drink down past the neck and the shoulder. Maybe that'll change a little bit, but I'm not getting. Yeah, and the nose is a little bit more nuttiness, but I'm not getting nearly as much on the palate. Man, just super easy to sip. Man, very velvety, very mouth coating. Great spice on that. Trevor, I don't know if it's necessarily better. I mean, I'm a fan of spicier bourbons that lean a little bit on the sweeter side. This kind of fits like right in my kind of wheelhouse. The Weeder is very good. I mean, if you like that peanut butter, chocolate combo, you'll be all over that. I mean, they're both great in their own right. They're just not really very comparable, I wouldn't say, for the most part. They've got very different, unique characteristics. But, this one, I mean, if someone asked me like what I would choose, I would probably go this first and then the Rebel, only because that probably fits my profile a little bit more. I like that sweetness with the nice spice, good proof. Again, neither one of these are drinking hot at all. They're both, really great proofs, I would say. They drink way under their proof. I would say they probably drink more in that, maybe 110-ish range, something like that. So yeah. So anyway, so there you go. There's what we've got coming for that. And I guess, if we kind of go back a little bit to, some of the daily sippers, I mean, I guess at the end of the day, these are two that could definitely fall in that category. Now, again, with really anything, I mean, it can be. I mean, no one's going to judge anybody based on whatever it is. And I guess the daily sipper has everything to do with, what that goddamn day had to offer. If it was shit, well, you want something that's going to be higher proof. If it wasn't, and you just want a nice, easy sipping bourbon, maybe you just go with like a Cooper's or a Weller Special Reserve or something like that. So it's going to change daily and all of that. So, I mean, it was just one of those things, as that term that gets thrown around a lot as daily sipper, that, I just wanted to see what kind of everybody's, perspective was on that. How's it going, Young? Good to see you, buddy. Yeah. So this one, I wouldn't say we're getting any like youthful notes on these at all. There's nothing. And again, you're kind of going beyond the youthful part of things. I mean, for me, I think a lot of times when you get into the, beyond the bottle and bond category, when you're beyond 40 years, again, now when you're trying to compare it to older things, it's probably not overly fair, but you're kind of getting away from that younger kind of profile that I think people kind of look down at. And I get that, but these, you're not getting any of that. And my guess is that as these begin to even open up, especially the higher proof, cast strength, they're going to probably improve slightly. So, yeah, definitely a little more nuttiness now coming out on this one on the nose. This one's definitely much softer, much more of those like kind of doughy pastry chocolate. Man, just a delicious whiskey that Weeder is. Again, the Rebels, I don't think you can get regular stuff outside of these picks that are 120 proof. I guess somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but what's up, Dustin? Good to see you, buddy. Always good to see you. Yeah, so there's nothing, Trevor, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's easy. You know exactly what it is you're going to get. Tried and true. Nothing wrong with that at all. I think the Elijah Craig offers an awful lot of kind of value for the most part. So, it's not super high proof, but I think it's not so watered down that it's eliminated all of the flavor and everything in there. So, yeah, definitely a little bit more nuttiness is kind of coming out in this, more so on the nose, but still really nice chocolate notes. That spice factor is there, kind of more of that like vanilla, right? Kind of more of a fresh like vanilla bean. Man, that orange citrus on there. Chocolate orange, slight nutty characteristic. Some nice dark fruits, some nice like fresh vanilla bean, really nice. I mean, this is like right in my kind of like my wheelhouse when I start going through some of these things to start breaking down a whiskey. I like the mouthfeel, how mouth coating it is, the complexity, the spice, the sweetness, the finish. And for me, this has all of that, as does this, just on a different level. It's a weeder. It's a higher proof weeder. Both great. I mean, we wouldn't have picked them if we didn't like them. We're always prepared to walk away from whatever it is we're doing. If we don't like something and we don't want to put our name on it, we're just not going to do that. So, what else we got here? Sometimes when you come into a conversation, you see certain things like Adriana, just tacos right now. I have no idea what the hell got said before that, but just checking it out. C. Jackson, first time here. Thanks for having me. Oh man, awesome. Thanks. Glad you could join in. You're in with a bunch of good people. So welcome to the live stream. Glad you could pop in for a little while. Thanks, bud. What else we have here? Nate, we do have some bullet stuff coming pretty soon. Don't know. We haven't heard a lot of details on that one quite yet. So hopefully before too much longer, we'll get more information on the bullet pick. So, all right, what do you got here, Bobby? Taco Bell. Man, I can't do Taco Bell. Man, that stuff that'll destroy me if I had Taco Bell. Shit gives me wicked heartburn. Any of that stuff like that kills me. But yeah, early times bottle and bond, I'd say, is one of those deals that would probably be kind of classified, within that daily sipper, definitely in terms of the price. I think the only problem is that for a lot of people, they have a little bit more of a difficult time getting it. So. That the bullet and stuff. So when you're doing those picks, I mean, that's basically all Four Roses. They've got it all categorized and everything very, very similar, but they've got their own way of describing some of those things. So you're essentially getting, Four Roses in a bullet bottle. There's my man, Drew P. Whiskey. Good to see you there, buddy. We gotta do some more things. We live too damn close to not be, collabing on some things. That's for sure. So we'll have to talk for sure. Get some stuff in the works. There he is. Always good to see you, the Swam Master. Always good to see you, Swami. Hey man, hope you're doing well. What else we got here? I know the junkies and stuff are going on, and they got their 75th. I'm not going to step on their toes. I mean, those guys they've got their own world over there. There's nothing I'm going to do. Even if I do stay on, they'll have 1,000 people watching here pretty soon. So, but yeah, so I guess there's a little kind of sneak peek of what it is that we've got going on or coming up pretty soon, the next 2 or 3 weeks with the Ezra and the Rebel. So we're happy to do that. And again, how we're kind of doing these, if there's anybody in here who's not familiar with the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, let's see if we got anything. It's just a little quick thing, but it's basically where I'll have a link in the description below. If you want to become part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, it gets you in on the opportunity to buy the picks that Jason and I are doing as part of the club. Now, what we're trying to do is get as many people as we possibly can involved in some of these picks. So for the vast majority of the ones that we do, we always have, 2, 3, maybe 4 other people that are helping with those picks, just to involve you guys. We don't want to just do everything our own and then just, send the stuff off. Part of the deal is to be getting you guys involved in all of these things. So thanks, Bobby. Appreciate that very much. We're trying, and we want to get people involved and all of that. So it's a really fun thing to be part of. I think a lot of the people who are kind of part of the club, will kind of attest to that. And we hope that everybody's enjoying, what it is that we're doing and being a part of. So what else we got here? Yeah, I mean, both of these are fantastic. All right, that's more spices starting to come out in this one. Man, peanut butter cup all day long. A hell of a lot more spice than you'd ever imagine on a weeder. And I don't know if you can attribute the spice and everything that's on this, to the proof. And maybe that's just a little bit of the proof that's coming through that is, providing that spice factor. It's not overly hot by any means. And again, these aren't drinking hot like some of those like Larceny barrel proofs. Like some of them for me weren't even enjoyable. They were just so hot. I mean, it was like gasoline almost. They were bad. And this at 120 proof is night and day. Thank God. So, but again, we would have known that when we were tasting the stuff there. Nothing's ever going to get into one of these bottles that we weren't happy to have in there. So absolutely. So this is part of it. So we did the driftless pick. They send out all the samples. We get people involved. Everything gets shipped off to everybody. Dart was part of the pick on that. Actually influenced one of the sticker names and everything. So he was a big part of it. And that's the fun part is getting people involved and making you part of. I mean, it's already a great community. You guys all know that. but extending it to other people who, support the channels and, want to be part of these like whiskey clubs and all of that. It's so much fun, and it's just fun interacting with all of you guys. It's, meeting people. It's the best. And hopefully we'll be able to, if not this year, more than likely next year, we'll probably put a little meetup together, maybe in like Kentucky or something, where we get a bunch of people together, whomever really wants to do it, maybe try. We talked about doing it this year, but it's just kind of gotten away. We've had so much going on, but maybe get something set up with Bardstown Bourbon Company or something, do a special dinner and some drinks and all of that. Man, it's one of these things, Hendo, like it seems like it, with everything we've got. So the Peerless ones, I don't know what those are going to be. My guess would be those are going to be a little bit more towards, what is this, September? No, shit, this is August. October, maybe as we get into maybe November-ish, something like that, I would guess is when the Peerless picks may start to come. So that'll be interesting. How's it going, Ozzy? Thanks for the bottle, man. I think what I'll do next time I do a live, I'll bust open. So Ozzy was nice enough to get me here. Let me grab it real quick. Now, this is not this isn't the, whatever it was classified as before, 6 or 7 years old, but there we go, a little bit better. The Virginia, I don't know, you guys can probably see that. Virginia bourbon. So, it's identical to the old Heaven Hill bottles. I'm sure that's probably where it's all coming from. This one does indicate it's charcoal filtered, so we'll give that one a go next time. So I wanted to hold out until you were going to be in, or we can maybe even do something on the channel. So thanks for sending that. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to cracking into it to see how consistent it is. I've still got a little bit of the green, some of the green label and some of the white label Heaven Hill stuff. So we'll see how comparable they are. That'll be interesting. Yeah, you can't go wrong with the Maker's 46. That a nice everyday weeder, that was what they kind of hit on that 46, for Makers to kind of get outside their comfort zone and bring something different to the table. I'm glad they've really started doing much more of that recently, but yeah, that was their kind of one of their first introductions to really kind of getting outside of the old, just, classic Maker's mark. So yeah, so this is virgin bourbon. It says bottled in Kentucky by I always love these like distilling companies, or are they Meadow Lawn Distilling Company, which probably doesn't even exist. Who God only knows? Bardstown, never seen Meadow Lawn Distilling Company or heard of them, nothing. But that really doesn't mean anything. So yeah, thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Yeah, 7 years. So I've got some of the green and some of the white label ones and stuff still. So you can see, hang on one second. So just as a bottle comparison, you guys can see, look at these two bottles. They're identical in terms of the shape and what the bottle is. So, and again, those used to be all the Heaven Hill stock. So my guess is that it's probably where it's still coming from for the most part. It's bottled in Bardstown. Does it say distilled? What's it say? It just says bottled. I don't know. My guess is it's still probably I think the original virgin bourbon, I think that was all still Heaven Hill stuff, but I could be wrong. Yeah, Hendo, it used to be great for me for $12, and you can still find sometime. I was lucky enough when I was in Kentucky, I kind of ran across a few of these, and They're not $12 anymore. They were a little bit more than that, but it was still a deal. I think they were like around $20 or something, and I bought like, I don't know, 6 or 8 of them or something just to have them. So, all right, Chris, what do you got here? Can't go wrong with that. So, I mean, I've got that in here. I mean, Russell's is something I probably go to. I mean, I try to hold back on drinking the Look at the Birdie one just because it goes pretty quick. But the Cooper's Craft, which was courtesy of Christopher David as well, fantastic stuff. I mean, and here's another one, man. You can't go wrong with any of the Knob Creek, whether they're picks or the 9-year, whatever it may be. I mean, call it what you want. Daily, I don't care what you call it. I mean, drink what you like and when you like it. So that's the most important part. So yeah, I thought it was something like that. I thought it was kind of like a special type of thing. And I believe, like you said before, I think that used to have the 7-year or 6-year age statement on there as well. Actually, hang on. Let's see. I think I've got do I have that? Oh yeah, here it is. Oh yeah, here it is. Okay. So here's a perfect example. So old and new. So as you can see, the one here, actually, yeah, this one here says in the middle, 7 years old. This one no longer has any of that in the middle of the bottle. So that's a little bit of the difference of those. So yeah, they were still the 101 proof. Just one was age stated as 7 years old. So anyway. Oh yeah, there's another one, JW Dant. I've got a decanter with some of that stuff in it. Great everyday kind of bourbon too. So, it's just one of those fun things. You can see, I mean, we all have these different examples of what we kind of go to and why and when and really all of that. So, cannot go wrong with Cooper's Craft. Absolutely love what they're doing. I wish I could find it more here. You just don't see it at all. So, true. Correct. Yeah, I knew it was something that was kind of exclusive, and I had always heard like North Carolina. I didn't hear some of the other states. I thought originally at Kentucky, but who knows? Non-alcoholic. Just what I don't want is non-alcoholic bourbon. That's for sure. And I believe they actually make something like that, which is travesty. Why the hell would anybody want non-alcoholic bourbon? Yeah, you can't go wrong with JTS Brown. It's another one of those Heaven Hill products. Find that it's more on the nutty side, but still nice and creamy and all of that. So anyway, that's it. So if anybody else has anything, what the hell did it win? I can see why. I mean, that double barreling that they do, I mean, it really rounds that bourbon out. And if anybody is curious as to what we're kind of talking about, I don't know if that helps at all, but so that's the Cooper's Craft. So that's just the 100 Cooper's 100 or whatever. So great bourbon. So yeah, I think you were on the train pretty early on. You were kind of doing a lot of the preaching and stuff of them. So, and rightfully so, they need to. It's still one of those things. I think the only thing that is holding that back, and again, it's probably, with it being Brown-Forman, they can control whatever it is that they want to do. But I think the only thing that's holding that back is just their distribution. You just don't see it. I mean, I don't see it really in my area at all. So I wish I did. I think it's a great, in terms of value bourbon. And again, that's kind of a slippery slope to go down, is value, because people will want to tell you all the time, what is and is not value. So, anyway, so that's really it. So I'm glad we were able to have a little kind of conversation about a few different things. And, hey, at the end of the day, I like hanging out with with all of you guys and ladies. It's a great time. So I think next week, it's either going to be next week or the week after. I'm trying to put together two things. So as things continue to be released, the idea will be to have a couple of other like whiskey companies, whatever you want, like a distilleries, whatever. I know everyone doesn't distill everything, but I'd like to get the guys from actually Mark and Sherry Carter on. They sent me a few samples not long ago of all of their new ryes that are out or are coming out. So I'd like to kind of sit down with them, kind of talk about what's been going on, what the future is, what, the whole like kind of rye lineup, all of those things, see how that stuff's all shaken out, give you guys a little idea of maybe which ones to kind of keep a lookout for. And then either next week or the week after, we'll probably have the guys from Foregate on. They've been doing a lot more releases, a lot more going on with that company. Same thing with old Carter as well. So just want to introduce a little bit more of that stuff to everybody, get them, kind of on board, just kind of a little bit of an update, catch up with a lot of these guys. At the end of the day, Mark, Sherry Carter, Bob D'Antoni, all of these guys are fantastic people. So Bill Straub, of course, from Foregate, but, to kind of just do, have a fun night with those guys, let them talk a little bit more about their brand, what's been going on, what's coming up, things along those lines. So that's kind of the idea about that. So, and Mark and Sherry Carter, they're never, shy of words. That's for sure. So it's always fun to get them on and just kind of shoot the shit with them. So, all right, Young, what do you got? Okay, good. So I think so that's what I've been drinking out tonight. These are I'm basically almost out of these, to be honest. I went through more of these than I thought it was going to pretty quickly, but we did the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club Glencairn. I don't know if I have one I'll put it up here, but I've got a handful left. Let's see, is that going to show up very well? Maybe there. But anyway, we did the deep etch. So it's not just it's really cut into the glass nicely. So it's not going to wash away or anything like that, like some of the other ones, have a tendency to do. So Ethan and Katie, I've got yours that I'll give you guys on Friday. So, yeah, so that's it. So I've got that coming up. And then we're going to also be doing for our Patreon community, we're working out a virtual tasting with the guys from Found North. Hopefully Jason got his bottle, of which he paid for. So we've got some of those. So we'll be putting together samples, sending those off to the people who want to be involved. Right now, the idea originally was to do one with about 20 people, but I don't know if we're going to have enough. I don't know if we're going to have enough whiskey to send out 2-ounce samples of each one. So I'll have to talk to the guys at Found North. So we'll see. So yeah, a lot of things kind of going on, and then we'll kind of mix in a few of these, now and then, just kind of sit down, shoot the shit, all of that. Christopher, I'll talk to Jason. Hopefully we can get I know he was going to be doing some stuff with the website. That's another thing, mashandjourney.com. Hopefully we'll have all of that stuff. We're going to try to get more things onto the website once we get that up and running. Christopher is responsible for that. So we thank him for ultimately putting all of that stuff together. I know Jason had to do a few more updates to a couple of those things, and I think we were going to be off to the races with that. So that'll be nice to be able to offer updates and, just places to go to kind of know a little bit more about what's going on with that. And it allows us to be more centrally located with things to kind of update people on those things. It's just important to have that website for all of that. So anyway, that's it. So I guess everybody, thank you so much for kind of hanging out tonight. Greatly appreciate it. Always fun to see everybody kind of shoot the shit a little bit and, just kind of see what everybody is up to and all of that. So I'm glad we were able to kind of share a little bit about what's going on with the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. talk a little bit about some daily sippers, things like that, what kind of falls in those categories. So there we have it. Lots of stuff going on. And so I think next week or the week after we'll kind of flip flop. We'll see what we've got coming up, and hopefully get the guys from Forgate on here, and then get Mark and Sherry Carter, old Carter, on here, talk a little bit about that, go through some of their lineup, have a good time with those things, and just continue to do that. Keep kind of plugging away. Again, if anybody is interested in the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club, we would love to have you. We want everybody to be a part of it, and hopefully everybody enjoys, being part of that. So with that being said, thanks everybody again for joining tonight. We'll see everybody next time or next week with something, trying to put that stuff together, get that finalized and everything right now. But thanks everybody for joining tonight. And like I say, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again for hanging out tonight, and we will see you guys next Tuesday night. Cheers, guys.